I'm Piper Kane, and I'm part of the Edible Materials Lab. And that's a studio that's part of the University of Texas School of Architecture. It's taught by Igor Siddiqui. So for the past 3 months, we've been experimenting with certain types of foods, experimenting with them, changing them, finding what sort of material they lend themselves to. And we're looking at how edible things, foods in general, could possibly be used for building materials. So for instance, I'm working with starch and making starch bioplastics, and in some ways it could be an adhesive. It could be used as an adhesive in concrete structures or for gypsum boards or drywall. And it could also be used as like films or aesthetic parts of the building. It's sort of limited because, once again, it's edible and it shrinks, it's degradable, it's ephemeral, but at the same time, I think that as architects and as designers, sometimes we embrace ephemerality because there are some things like, say, Olympic stadiums that only last for a very short time, but people keep them up for forever, and they take a bunch of maintenance and energy to upkeep. And so the idea is to rethink and be aware of the energy that it takes to make things last. These experiments are driven by the thought that we can do something to change how we perceive our built environment, because there are a lot of ways that we waste a lot of energy in things that don't necessarily need it. And so we're investigating how these different materials that we're making right now can substitute things that are more demanding in the real world.